Just all of a sudden, roof was gone. Everything was everywhere.
A woman described surviving a storm that ripped the roof off her home.
A semi crash made it a struggle to get around Lexington using the interstate today. We have an update on the traffic situation.
There was action at the site of a stalled construction project in downtown Lexington. Work resumed at Center Point for the first time in months.
This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon to you. Responding to emergencies is what she does. Yesterday, an EMT found herself in need of help because of one.
Mary Messer was hurt when storms ripped the roof of her home. She talked to our Hillary Thornton about what she went through. It's our top story at 5.
The woman who lives here is now out of the hospital, thankful to be alive after yesterday's storm ripped the roof off of her home while she was inside.
Just all of a sudden, roof was gone. Everything was everywhere.
Mary Messer is used to responding to emergencies, working as an EMT. Yesterday, however, she was the one needing help. Now looking at the damage left behind by what officials believe to be straight-line winds, those winds ripping the roof off from above her head, Messer then diving underneath of the bed for cover, which is when she says her training as an EMT kicked in.
When I got up, I felt my leg was hurting. At that point, I had 2 knots that started to come up. So yes, my training, first thing I done was check for a pulse in my foot to make sure everything was good, that there was no major damage.
Messer says she then called her fiance, who also works as a first responder, as a paramedic. He and a few others then rushed to the home. The couple says they are thankful for all of the various crews that responded during their time of need. In Laurel County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
The National Weather Service looked at the damage today and found that 60-mile-an-hour straight-line winds damaged that mobile home. One day after those storms moved across parts of the area, we have another S word in the forecast.
That's right. Snow is coming back. WKYT's chief meteorologist Chris Bailey's here to tell us about that S word.
Yeah, it's a nasty word, guys, especially as you get into the month of March. But snow is back in the forecast for the day tomorrow. At least some snow's mixing with rain. A lot of that is going to be melting. Today we started out with some of that S word, ending the day, though, with a fair amount of sunshine in most of central and eastern Kentucky. Look at our live sky cams from across the Bluegrass State. To the west, central Kentucky, eastern Kentucky, everybody getting in on at least some rays of sun. Now, southeastern Kentucky, we're much colder than everybody else with a lot of 30 to 35 degree numbers. Central Kentucky, we've at least hit the upper 30s for a time. Now, if you're out this evening, it's a quick drop below freezing. Then a little rebound as clouds increase by 11 o'clock. That's ahead of a storm system that is out across the Plain States. That is your messy Thursday weather maker with some rain and snows taking center stage across much of central and eastern Kentucky. We'll track that with a new hour by hour and also look a little longer range into next week, guys, and we'll find spring and let you know when it finally does its thing across the Bluegrass State.
That would be nice, Chris. Thank you. If you travel the interstate in Lexington today, you may have found yourself stuck in traffic. An overnight semi-crash slowed down drivers for more than 12 hours.
It was quite a mess out there. This is a live look at our traffic map, and you can see right now that Interstate 75 between Winchester Road and up towards Paris Pike in the Newtown Road area, still a problem, especially northbound. WKYT's Garrett Weimer's live now with more on the traffic situation there. Garrett?
At 4, I showed you traffic was moving better a few miles north, and here at exit 108, all lanes are now open. But just over half an hour ago, traffic was at a standstill here after another crash that involved several cars. This 5-mile stretch of interstate has seen its share of problems today. It started when a semi overturned at the 113 just after 2 o'clock this morning. This video from viewer James Stewart shows the fiery aftermath of that crash. Thankfully, the driver was not seriously hurt, but the crash did cause lane closures all throughout the day as crews cleaned up. It was a long process, and crews this morning talked to us about what it all would take.
In the rear of the trailer portion, there's a lot of engines, actual car truck engines that have all turned over inside the trailer. It's kind of a mess in there, and they weigh so much we can't right the trailer without those being removed first. So that's a tedious process of pulling each one of those engines out. You can't do it by hand. It has to be done, with a crane. So it's taking a while.
and that all got cleared around 4:30. And here, that crash just north of Man o' War has also been cleared, and traffic is now moving smoothly. But the key, just be ready, just be careful, and drive safe if you're going to be hitting the roads this evening. Live off I-75 in Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Okay, Garrett, thank you. Good to see that it is improving out there. Police say they're investigating what caused that semi to turn over overnight. For the first time since developers dropped out of the project last month, we're hearing today from the owner of the Centerpoint project in downtown Lexington. Dudley Webb says he is moving forward now with construction.
At Centerpoint, where today, for the first time in months, there was work taking place inside the pit. Despite calls from the city to fill in the hole, Webb says that isn't going to happen. WKYT Sean Moody has more on today's developments.
We're several floors above the Centerpoint site right now. Just before noon today, work started again. We were here and we saw that excavator in the corner of the lot digging rocks out of that hole and moving them into the pile. Developer Dudley Webb said in a 6-page press release today that they are moving ahead with the project on their own. Webb said in the letter that he had remained silent for months while third-party developers tried to work out a plan with the city. Now that that developer has pulled out, Webb said his company has resumed work on the underground garage. He said he's been frustrated by a dispute with the city, saying the city failed to comply with an agreement to issue bonds in 2014, which he says stalled the project. He said the city also wouldn't give Centerpoint the same cooperation and help it gave other projects. Now, Webb says his company will move forward with the original multi-use project plan. Neighboring businesses are watching closely.
I won't believe it till I see it, really, at this stage. But, you know, something has to happen. I mean, we can't be sitting with a hole forever. So something has to happen. And if this is the beginning of something happening, great. I am 100% behind everybody and anybody who does it.
Now, we reached out to the mayor's office for comment on this. His spokesperson said, quote, if real progress is occurring, then it would represent a major turn of events. Hopefully this isn't more of the same that we have experienced for 8 years. Our responsibility is to continue to protect taxpayer dollars, end quote. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
In an email sent to council members last month, City Attorney Mason Miller said Centerpoint must complete the garage or restore the property to reconstruction condition by March 30th. If they don't, he said the city could enter into the property on March 31st.
Police are asking for your help to try and identify a theft suspect. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Perry County. Hazard police say that this woman took a Samsung Galaxy tablet. In the video, you can see her waiting for a person to leave the area before making her move. If you have any information, police say you can call them, text them, or use their app to give them a tip. In Laurel County, a scare this morning after firefighters were called about a car in a pond. Someone made the discovery on Court Road about 8 a.m. No one was in or near the car. The Laurel County Fire Department says first responders eventually found the car's owner, and she was not hurt.
He hasn't dropped out, but GOP candidate Ben Carson says he doesn't see a path forward in the presidential race. Carson hasn't won a single state and plans to skip tomorrow night's debate. Meanwhile, Donald Trump continues his march to the nomination. As Craig Boswell shows us, Trump took 7 states yesterday, leaving his rivals without a lot of catching up to do.
Marco Rubio voted for himself Wednesday morning in his home state of Florida nearly 2 weeks before that state's primary.
It's my home and we're going to win Florida. We feel great about it.
Rubio needs Florida after winning just 1 state on Super Tuesday. Donald Trump claimed 7 victories and Ted Cruz won 3 states. Trump dismissed Rubio's chances in Florida, where the billionaire maintains a double-digit lead in the polls.
He is a lightweight, as I've said many times before.
Trump's victories on Super Tuesday have split the Republican Party.
He's beyond the nightmare stage. Now we're getting to the acceptance stage.
There's talk that some GOP leaders will try to block Trump's path to the nomination, but Republican strategist Brad Blakeman warns against it.
If Donald Trump wins fair and square or comes close enough, it would be a disaster not to give it to him.
Trump's momentum has not only stunned the GOP establishment. Ben Carson released a statement saying he no longer sees a path forward.
What a Super Tuesday!
In the Democratic race, Hillary Clinton is starting to pull away from Bernie Sanders. She won 7 states on Super Tuesday. Sanders won 4. But Sanders, who rallied Wednesday in Maine, is optimistic.
We can win here if there is a large voter turnout Please vote.
The Vermont senator raised $12 million more than Clinton in the last month. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
Well, Carson is hinting he is getting out of the race. He says he'll have more to say on Friday when he attends a conservative political action conference.
Students returning to school 2 days after a shooting, what the school did to make them comfortable about coming back.
A new report on ovarian cancer could change the way it's diagnosed and treated, how the findings could save lives in better living. She always wanted to be a mother, and when she finally got pregnant, she couldn't be more thrilled. But then she was diagnosed with cancer and would have to undergo chemo while pregnant. Her amazing story tonight at 6 on WKYT.
These creamery shakes are so rich and creamy.
I know. Finally a shake for an aficionado like myself.
Wait, you're a shake aficionado?
Not a shake aficionado. The shake aficionado.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, perhaps you could be one too. Go ahead.
There's a coolness. It's cold.
Okay, ice cream is cold. Stop the presses, guys. Ice cream is cold. Says Pete. Print it.
New slow-turned creamery shakes are here in premium flavors like bourbon brown sugar. And all shakes are half price after 8 p.m. This is how you Sonic.
Think about this. You're paying for new windows whether you buy them or not. Over 70% of your energy dollars are lost through those old drafty windows in the wintertime to keep you cold. Right now, with new windows, we can save you energy dollars. Give your home an energy upgrade. Take advantage of our winter blowout sale here at America's Window. You buy 2 windows, you get 1 half off. Convenient credit terms available. Act now and upgrade to triple pane at no additional charge. Give your home an energy upgrade. Call America's Window today.
Looking for the best boat your money can buy? Check out Tracker, Nitro, Sun Tracker, and Tahoe boats. Backed by the best factory warranties in the business. And Tracker is holding the line on pricing. Most 2016 boats are at or below last year's prices. Like the 2016 Tracker Pro Team 190TX for $1,100 below the 2014 price. 2016 boats at 2015 prices. At the Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boating Center in Corbin.
Philip Pratt, a proud grandfather, a loving and caring family man, a hard-working small business owner, someone who knows how to grow jobs and change the landscape in Frankfurt. Philip Pratt will hold government accountable responsibly, fight Obama's crippling government overreach on our agriculture economy, and preserve our Kentucky heritage in Owen and Scott County. On Tuesday, March 8th, vote Philip Pratt for state representative.
At the end of the broadcast, I'm most proud of what we have done as a team. This is the ultimate team sport, television news, and all of the people that have contributed to that night's broadcast, people who have risked their lives to tell the news and to deliver to the American people the highest quality news broadcast in the world today. That is a very satisfying feeling.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you, like WKYT on Facebook. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Well, it's a day that started out with very cold air for this time of year, even a little rooftop dusting of snow into much of central and eastern Kentucky. This afternoon, the sun's out there, not doing a whole lot, though, to warm us up. We look outside Hamburg Pavilion in the distance, and a little bit of milky cloud cover beginning to come back on into town. So that milky sky will carry us into the evening. 37 current temperature, feels like it is 32 degrees though, so bundle up if you're heading out. Winds have been northwesterly, becoming a little more westerly as of now. Really cold stuff has been across southeastern Kentucky. It's been a struggle to get past the freezing mark into the southeastern corner of the state. This go around, the air is coming from the west, and we have a storm system that is popping across the plain states. Look at the temperature trend from St. Louis to Kansas City and towards Springfield, Missouri. That's when you know you've got a little system that is developing here. That's a warm front in there, and the leading edge of that warmer air never quite gets in here tomorrow, but over top of that, we're going to build a fairly decent precipitation shield as that low pressure makes its way toward parts of the volunteer state of Tennessee. So with temperatures tomorrow, that will be mainly in the 30s, a little bit of everything coming from the skies. Some rain, some wet snow. Can we pick up a slushy accumulation tomorrow afternoon heading into tomorrow evening? It's at least a possibility, especially for the areas I've highlighted here in the blue. Now, I'm not talking about a lot here, and it would be on the grassy surfaces and a rooftop if you get anything out of this, and it would be slushy with temperatures that are above freezing. It may stick and then melt away fairly quickly, but at least the chance is there. And here's why. Look at the hour-by-hour forecast as we get into tomorrow. Clouds thicken up first thing tomorrow morning, first little swath of some rain right on top of the area. That then makes a little transition over to snow as we go through noontime and early part of tomorrow afternoon. And the best area for that would be across parts of northeastern Kentucky. You get a little cooling as that rain comes down at a pretty good clip. Now, southern Kentucky, you may hit the 40s while it is snowing for areas into northern and northeastern parts of the region. So that would be your best chance to put down at least a little quick-hitting slushy accumulation. By the time we roll into Friday, temperatures are still above freezing to start the day. We'll gradually switch from clouds to some sun. Then on Saturday, there's one more little system that will try to dive into town as we get into the afternoon. That will have the possibility of giving us some rain, a little shower chance on Saturday. If you're looking to wash the car, get rid of the salt, hang on a few more days. Wait until we get into late Saturday, I think especially Sunday, because let me get out of the way and show you a little spring into early next week. Every day next week has a shot at giving us 70 degrees. Doesn't mean every day will give us. You may have to settle for 65. Huh? Tough life. Could be some thunderstorms, though, middle and end of next week.
Hello, spring. Whatever you will bring us, not the storms, we'll take.
Yeah, next week looks very warm, actually. I could see some deep 70s showing up on a day or two.
Thanks, Chris.
I bet.
Now, still slow on the interstate on I-75 northbound at the moment between Manowar and Winchester Road. Heavy traffic that we're dealing with there, of course, and a couple of collisions. That one turned out to be at Polo Club in Winchester Road. That's an injury collision in the intersection. And that one downtown on South Broadway. This is near Angliana. Drive times impacted on the interstate on into Scott County to Georgetown is about normal. And it looks like US 60 Winchester in better shape now across the county line. And headed to Mount Sterling, no problems. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Don. It's a day to encourage everyone to read. We'll show you how Fayette County Schools celebrated National Read Across America Day coming up.
Officers trying to crack down on drugs ended up finding something more disturbing, the conditions they found some children living in on WKYT News at 5:30.
Kentucky mornings start here. Breaking and overnight news, weather to plan your day, plus traffic you can take with you. Make WKYT This Morning part of your Kentucky morning. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7 on WKYT.
While some airports offer a few flights to a few places a few days a week, Louisville International offers daily flights to more of the places you want to go. You can get there from there, eventually. Or you can see where we can take you. Visit us today.
If you add up all the hidden air leaks in your home, they can equal a hole the size of an open window. These drafts can make your home feel uncomfortable and cause high energy bills. Our Button Up program helps you find these leaks and seal them. You'll save energy, increase your comfort, and you can receive a rebate for making energy efficiency upgrades. Jackson Energy and Licking Valley RECC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperatives.
Get a whiter, more radiant smile without the severe sensitivity. Whiten up to 8 shades in just one appointment at Commonwealth Smiles. Making memories just got a whole lot brighter. Get Zoom at Commonwealth Smiles.
Savor something different every day. Just ask for the $3 sub of the day at Subway restaurants. A different 6-inch sub every day for only $3. Classics like the meatball marinara and Italian BMT, plus favorites like the turkey breast and turkey and black forest ham. 7 days, 7 subs, $3. Subway, founded on fresh.
You're always a winner at America's Window. Why don't you call right now for beautiful windows that look like this? Whatever size you need, bay, bow, double hung, slider. Remember, the glass in our windows goes through an 11-step process to make it the most energy efficient glass in the state. Call right now, 1-800-861-4153 for a free estimate, or come by and see us at 1190 East New Circle Road right here in town. Check us out on the web at americaswindowusa.com and check this out. It's our slam dunk sale sale only at America's Window. Get $150 off per window. Now's the time to get new windows in your home and save big. Affordable finance plans, if you act now, receive an additional 5% off your total window purchase. Call 1-800-861-4153 or check us out on the web at americaswindowusa.com. Get new windows now. Remember, you're always a winner here at America's Window.
When big news breaks, be the first to know. Download the WKYT News app and turn on push alerts. Breaking news at your fingertips when you need to know what's going on. Push alerts, now available on the WKYT News app. Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Students returned to a Cincinnati area school this morning for the first time since a shooting. Staff members joined Madison junior and senior high school students on their bus rides and gave them a first-day school-style welcome back. Police were on hand and crisis counselors were there to help out the students. A 14-year-old opened fire at the school on Monday, shooting 2 students and injuring 2 others. They're all expected to survive. A piece of debris, likely belonging to a missing airliner, has washed up. The wreckage came ashore in Mozambique last weekend. It could belong to Malaysia Air Flight 370, which disappeared in mid-flight 2 years ago. The debris is on the way to Malaysia for more investigation.
Calling all computer hackers, the Pentagon wants you. The Pentagon wants to bring in screened high-tech specialists to try and breach the Defense Department's internet pages. It's a part of a pilot program to find and fix cybersecurity vulnerabilities. The Hack on the Pentagon program begins next month. It's National Read Across America Day, and the superintendent of Fayette County Schools celebrated in a special way. Manny Kalk visited Dunbar High School to talk about the launch of his new book club. Students have until March 21st to read the book, The Smartest Kids in the World. Starting March 22nd, they'll have meetings to discuss what they read. One student says it's the perfect choice to start the club.
It was great because it was more focused primarily on students, and with Fayette County's motto, it's about the kids. He's giving us the chance to actually listen in and make us feel like we're important and not just another student out of all the county.
And the community is being encouraged to join the book club. You can find that book at the Lexington Public Library or Joseph Beth Booksellers. And I got the chance to take part in Read Across America Day today. Take a look at the fabulous first graders from Wellington Elementary here in Lexington. We had fun today reading Oh, the Places You'll Go from Dr. Seuss. So thanks, guys, for having me over. 4 teens end up lost on a hiking trip to the Red River Gorge. We'll have more on their rescue on WKYT News at 5:30.
Get WKYT News and weather updates on Wild 103.9.
Change is taking root in Frankfort. We need a voice that'll be heard. Daniel Elliott is the conservative for Boyle and Casey counties. Dedicated to protect our God-given freedoms from Obama liberals, Daniel will ensure government is held accountable and our Kentucky values are protected. Daniel Elliott will fight government overreach that's crippled our economy. We need a strong voice. On Tuesday, March 8th, vote Daniel Elliott for state representative.
This new DQ chicken bruschetta is a high-end Italian sports car. No, actually, it's oven-hot focaccia bread, a balsamic glaze. It's a high-end Italian
romance.
No, it's chopped tomatoes and herbs. It's a high-end Italian
Fashion.
It's a high-end Italian sandwich.
I like sandwich.
The new DQ Bakes Chicken Bruschetta, a premium Italian sandwich at a not-so-premium price. Hot out of the oven, only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
You think you've got a good answer?
How about your panties?
This is too much information. Would you say it in front of your family? Name something that often lasts longer than you want it to. Work.
A movie. Sex. Not about him. Not about him.
Well, who the hell are you married to? What would you say on Family Feud?
Family Feud, 1 full hour starting at 7 on the CW Lexington.
I grew up in Harlan, but I've lived in Lexington since graduating from UK, and it's given me a real appreciation for what it means to stand for Kentucky. Whether it's a big city or a small town, the people of Kentucky want our state to succeed. And we here at WKYT want to do our part to share the stories of difference makers who make our state a better place to live. I'm WKYT's Barbara Bailey, and I stand for Kentucky.
You're always a winner at America's Window. Why don't you pick up the phone and call in right now to give your home an energy upgrade? It's not too late to get these great windows in your home and save big during our slam dunk sale. Make the call right now, 1-800-861-4153. Or come by and see us here at 1190 East New Circle Road right here in Lexington. Beautiful windows. They keep the cold out, keep the heat out in the summertime. Lots of colors to choose from. You'll love the ease of operation, the wood grain on the inside. And remember, we don't make decisions based on convenience. We're going to do what we're supposed to and a little bit more. And speaking of saving you more, take advantage of our slam dunk sale. $150 off per window. Call right now. Affordable finance plans to work with you to fit your budget. Act now and receive an additional 5% off your total window purchase only from America's Window. You're always a winner here at America's Window. Call today.
It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. A new report finds ovarian cancer isn't a single disease, but rather a compilation of different types of cancer involving the ovary. As WKYT shows us, knowing where to look for these cancers could help with early detection and treatment.
Hollywood scriptwriter Dana Barada brings characters to life on TV, but now she's telling her own story, her battle with advanced stage ovarian cancer.
It's, incredibly frightening. It knocks you off your feet.
A new report says ovarian cancer is not just one disease, but rather different types of cancers that usually start in the uterus or fallopian tubes.
The ovary itself is such a fertile area for the cells to implant with lots of blood vessels and nutrients that they don't actually begin on the ovary, but they actually metastasize to the ovary.
The report from the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine says understanding these cancers is critical for early detection and treatment. The report also calls for more universal genetic testing for all women with ovarian cancer and their families.
As far as I know, there's no family history.
Barada was tested, and it turns out she did carry a gene that put her at higher risk. She says there were warning signs, including bloating and lingering abdominal pain. 4 years later, she's in remission, but knows there's an 80% chance of recurrence.
Most days are overshadowed by how happy I am to be here.
She hopes more research will change the odds for ovarian cancer survivors. WKYT, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now, coming up on WKYT News at 6, you're going to meet a Georgetown woman and see how her desire to start a family helped discover her ovarian cancer. Living in a well-lit neighborhood might affect your sleep. Researchers found people with high outdoor light exposure at night were more likely to sleep less and have more fatigue. They were also more likely to wake up confused. Researchers say people might want to consider room darkening shades, sleep masks, or other options to reduce light exposure. You can now use your credit card at a no-frills food store. Aldi says shoppers should not see an impact on the prices they pay. The store previously only accepted cash or debit cards. The move coincides with a planned expansion. Aldi is a German-based low-price grocer. It operates more than 1,400 stores in 32 states, including here in Kentucky. For more health, education, and consumer news, just go to WKYT.com and click on Better Living. Now, here's what's coming up at 5:30.